It's time for Access the Experts from the University of Nebraska at Omaha with your host, Brandon Axamit.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Access the Experts on News Channel Nebraska, where every Tuesday and Thursday, University of Nebraska at Omaha faculty members answer today's questions facing our state. Now today we have the pleasure of hearing from Dr. Stephen Torres, who is a professor and a department chair of foreign language and literature at UNO. So Stephen, today's question is, what's the best and or most useful second language to learn?
Well, thank you, Brandon. I'd be happy to talk to you about what would be the most useful second language to learn. I guess the first thing I would say is that what's useful to one person may not necessarily be that useful to the next person. So it's probably going to depend a little bit on what it is that you would like to do with that second language, right? What is your purpose in studying a second language? Do you want to talk to friends and family? Maybe you have neighbors that speak a different language and you'd like to be able to talk to them in their language. Maybe you're planning a trip. Or maybe you'd like to study a second language for work. You think it's going to open up professional opportunities. A lot of people think, hey, if I speak a second language, it's going to immediately increase my salary, so I better do that. Of course, then once they start to study, they find out, wow, this opens up a whole world of opportunities and perspectives that I really had not anticipated. I really like this. This is really interesting, right? So in terms of work, there's a lot of opportunities in a lot of different areas right now, like social work, healthcare, education, business, law enforcement, journalism, communication, travel and hospitality, a lot of opportunities in different areas. So what language would one study if one wanted to go into one of those fields and be able to do two languages? Well, I'm a Spanish professor, so I would probably recommend Spanish, right? But to be fair, there are a lot of languages that you should consider in addition to Spanish. Now, here in the US, we have 53 million people that speak Spanish. That's a lot of people, more people than speak Spanish in Spain even, right? So, kind of makes sense, if you will. We have a lot of states with names that come from Spanish: Florida, Texas, Colorado, Nevada, Arizona, California, you name it, right? So there have been families that have transmitted their culture and language from one generation to the next for a long time in this country. And also be handy to know Spanish if you want to travel to Mexico, Central America, South America. Maybe you'd like to go to Europe and go to Spain. Maybe you'd like to go to Africa, Equatorial New Guinea. They speak Spanish there too. Lots of opportunities. Maybe you want to go north and explore our neighbors to the north. In that case, you could learn French, end up in Quebec, learn to hang out with the Quebecois community. That would be something to consider. Or maybe go to Paris and plan a trip sometime. I got to say, a lot of my friends have studied German, especially in science and industry. They're living in Germany right now and they love it. They absolutely love it. They had to study German, but it was well worth doing from what they tell me. In a multipolar, globalized world, there are a lot of people studying Japanese and Chinese, which is the most spoken language in the world right now. You might also want to consider Russian. So we have a lot of students at UNO, at least 10 minors in Russian right now. So if you would like to explore more information, more opportunities, I would encourage you to go to unomaha.edu. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Stephen, for sharing your expertise on the topic. For our viewers at home, we want you to interact with UNO's experts. So if you have a question that you want answered, go to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the Access the Experts link to submit your question. It may just be answered by a UNO expert on an upcoming edition. Lastly, do not forget that Access the Experts airs every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. only on News Channel Nebraska. I'm Brandon Axamit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Access the Experts, presented by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. If you have questions, submit them on our website. Then join us every Tuesday and Thursdays at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. while we answer your questions.